Well, I'm hand sanding the front part of these scales that I'm putting on, and I figured I just started this YouTube channel yesterday, just kind of for fun. I had a lot of people that always ask me little specific questions and stuff, and I thought if I started to try to create some content of just whatever I'm doing throughout the day or whatever it is, I can kind of direct people towards videos to say, hey, this is how I did this, or this is how I did this. But basically what I wanted to do while I'm working on sanding this is just explain a little bit about what I do and how I got to where I'm at right now and that kind of stuff. So basically, I've been making knives now for about 4 years, I think, and I just recently, maybe I don't know, 6 months ago or something like that, decided to quit my job that I had and take this on full time. So basically what I've been doing for the last 5 years or so, more than that, probably actually almost 8 years, I've been, I owned a car detailing shop where we, reconditioned all these vehicles for the local dealerships around me and stuff like that. I started that business with actually a good friend of mine, and we were partners in it. And what happened is it's been probably 4 years ago, I kind of got into making knives just for fun. And I started off with one of those brake drum forges. I made a coal forge out of an old brake drum with a hair dryer, and it was really hillbilly, but it got me into this a little bit. And basically, I have this set of railroad tracks that go way out behind my house, and the trains go through, and over time they dump coal on the tracks. And one day I was out there, I think I was walking my dog or something, and I saw this big pile of coal that had fallen out of a railroad car, and I thought, I'm gonna take that home and see if it works, and it did. So I started off with a brake drum forge and those railroad clips that are used to actually hold down the track to those ties. There's these big and I guess they're pretty good steel. I think it's 5160 spring steel basically. But so that's where I got started, and I would bring one home, forge it out flat into a usable billet, and go from there. And I made a few knives out of those. First ones were pretty ugly, and I slowly started to get people that were interested in them for whatever reason. I sold a few to friends and to some people that I used to work with, stuff like that. And just started kind of getting some orders and stuff like that. And I transitioned from forging out those clips because, man, it would take me like about an hour to get a clip to where it was flat and ready to make a knife out of it. So it's just so time consuming. My hands were just all blistered up, completely shot. And I kind of got to where I'm like, okay, I need to figure out a better way. So I started looking into steel suppliers and stuff like that. And I ordered some different types of steel. I don't remember what I started with, like 1075 or something like that, and started making knives. And I guess, long story short, it took off from there. And over the last 3 or 4 years, I just sold knives and took orders and continued to kind of take more orders, but I had this other business that I've been running. And let me show you guys this real quick. This is pretty cool. This is you're probably not gonna be able to see it. This is some fire hose micarta that I'm working on. I've never used this before, but it's really cool. So I got that sanded. I gotta hit this back part still, but anyways, So I don't remember where I was at, but so I had to figure out, kind of prioritize my time to be able to continue my business at the detail shop and put out some knives to kind of see if I could grow this into what I've grown it into now. And so what I was doing, hang on one second. So what I was doing is I'd get up like super early every single day. Like I'd get up at like 6:30 or something, and 6 o'clock, get up and I'd work out here until 9 o'clock every day. And then at 9 o'clock, I'd go in to the detail shop and then, you know, do my full-time job and then still do this. And I booked orders to where I kind of knew how much time I needed to be able to finish them, and you know, try not to be too stressed out. But it really, the whole time I was doing that, which I would say it's probably been at least 2.5 years of me doing that, it just got old. It got to where, you know, coming out here every morning and then going into work and then doing whatever I had to do after work, it just got to where it was just too much. And I just, you know, got to where I was working too much and I didn't enjoy it. And right now I have a 3-year-old son. I'm sure if you guys probably are watching this, you followed it from my Instagram page, you probably see pictures of him all the time. And so that's what really made me decide to try to do this full time and cut the detailing business out and just focus on the knife making thing. So basically what happened is, when this whole COVID thing started, which has been, I don't know, 6-7 months ago now, we shut the detail shop down for a month or two during kind of that whole deal. And it gave me time to be able to focus on the knife thing more, see what it was really like to put in a full-time, like turn the knife thing into a full-time job. It gave me a little trial run. And I thought what was going to happen is I would, you know, get caught up on all my orders and, you know, be able to start doing some more batch knives, I guess is what you'd call them, to where maybe I do 6 of my Scout model, 6 of my Trekker model, 6 fillet knives, something like that, and be able to post them on my Instagram or Facebook and try to start selling them that way. But what happened is I started finishing all these orders that I was getting, and as opposed to getting caught up, it got to where I was just getting more and more orders from putting out more knives. You put out more knives on social media, more people see them, you get more orders. So like I said, that was 6 months ago, 6-7 months ago, and I'm still not caught up on all the orders I've been trying to kind of think to get caught up on, which I'm not at all complaining about it. It was just kind of my game plan, like, and it didn't really work that way, I guess, but it's all good. And I'm still working on a lot of orders, and I try not to be the guy that tells customers that they have to wait, you know, a year before they get their knife. I just think that's ridiculous. And so I try to, like right now, for example, I'm about 8 weeks out on orders. If you place an order tomorrow, I should be able to have it done in roughly 8 weeks. And I'd like to try to keep it that way, because, I don't know, it gets kind of overwhelming, I think, when you have, you know, 25 orders that you can't, you know you're not going to start on these for weeks and weeks and weeks. It just is a little overwhelming. So basically how it is right now, I'm pretty happy with it. And it's working out pretty good. So the whole thing that I was kind of trying to get to is, what I ended up doing is I sold my half of the detail shop. When kind of things started to reopen, I said, you know, it's not worth my time and energy anymore to waste time really just working my life away, especially with my son now. And I just, you know, I want to be able to live life and not stress out about money, and be able to, you know, spend as much time with Walt as I possibly can. So, you know, working from home has been really great. And like I said, I've kept very busy, and I hope to, continue to stay busy and pump out knives and be able to work the hours that I want to work. And if I get busy, I can, work at night. I can do, there's multiple different things you can do when you work from home, and you don't have our building was pretty expensive. Our rent, you always are worried about, putting in enough time to be able to pay all your bills and do all this and eliminating all that overhead at that other business has just opened up, more time. Like for me to do this right now, I'm not super stressed about getting this knife done and that knife done. I've spaced everything out to where I can have enough time to get these knives done. People are relatively happy with my wait time, and it makes enough money to where I'm obviously not getting rich, anything like that, but I'm able to pay my bills and spend more time with my family and stuff like that, and start this YouTube thing. So if you guys have any questions or anything like that, drop them down below about maybe some suggestions on what you'd like to see in the future. My whole plan basically is to try to film like some day-to-day stuff, what I'm doing. I don't really get into it a whole lot on my Instagram. It's like this whole thing, I haven't really talked about that side of anything. So if you guys have any suggestions for what you'd like to see, maybe some stuff I do that you haven't seen before, stuff like that, just drop them in the comments. But that's kind of my plan, is maybe do some tips and some little weird things that I do that I haven't seen everywhere else. Because obviously, if you're watching this, you probably know there's a million other YouTube knife guys out there, and I'm not really trying to be like that. I'm just trying to be very real and kind of show you guys a little glimpse at what it's like to be a full-time knife maker, I guess is my idea. So hopefully I wasn't rambling too much there, but I wanted to give a little bit of a backstory about what I've done, where I'm at, and kind of my plan for this channel, I guess. So anyways, if you guys could hit that subscribe button, the like button, and drop a comment below, I'd really appreciate it. And thanks for watching, guys.